I wanted to welcome you to this morning's Ritual for Guitar Growth. We are here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we have the metronome going at, 60 beats per minute again. No surprise there, though. We also have a surprise. We do have a surprise that we are going to come into. It's a little old and it's kind of pretty well used, but we stumbled upon a little gold mine. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Kevin. How are you? We stumbled upon a gold mine in this Dorian rush. So we are going to be covering a little bit more Dorian today, but this time we are going to do some Dorian work, our Dorian work, focused around a piece of music, a really, somewhat complicated but easily approachable piece of music. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Sky Animates. Hey, Bernard. Good morning. I got looking at that email yesterday. We'll get back into that. Very nice work. Mark. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Mark again, and Raul. How are you? We've got, let's give us a fourth like here. So it looks like we're in pretty good shape. But we're talking about, we are going to, number one, you might want to set an intention for this session today. So if you would like to set, if you're working on an intention, if you set intentions for your practice days, excuse me, I've got a little bit of a thing going on here. But if you would like to set an intention today, now's a great time to do that. I'm going to set an intention. And it could be for anybody, anything. But why are we practicing this morning? That's our intention. So that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing anyway. And if you'd like to join me in that, you're more than welcome to. All right, so stick around. We've got a pretty cool program set for today. Let's take a look at, just going to do the sort of the normal. We have normalized some things here. So some of the things that we've normalized are, are kind of, I guess we do this sort of every day, every weekday morning anyway. I do this anyway. And today we're just going to expand that into, we're going to take another look at Dorian mode today, but this time we're going to do that on a song. I'll share with you the song in a moment. I've got it in this old book. It's the new real book, the C and vocal versions. It's jazz classics, jazz choice standards, pop fusion classics, and you'll be happy to know that it's created by musicians for musicians. So that's what sold me on it, was that. All right, let's go ahead and tune up. And all right, so there's the A, in case you need it. Good morning, Robbie. Here's the A. Oh yeah, we'll be talking about patternizing the Dorian mode a little bit later today too. Jill Bourgeois. Good morning. We're just setting up the reality of this morning ritual. We're coming through the breathing sequence, right? We're coming through the breathing sequences, and we're just en route to tuning. For some reason, the guitar is responding to something here. Oh, you know what? I think I tuned it a little bit differently last night, before I didn't hit the rack until 10:30. I didn't finish work until like 10:30 last night. I say it's work, but it hasn't, it's not really work, is it? So if you're here joining us, you can tune up with me. I should probably give you a little bit more of what's going on. This is a Victrola back here. Maybe one day we'll open that up and, and play a few shellac albums on it. Usually I like to grab that B string and fret 7 on the harmonic on the low E string. And if the guitar is intonated perfectly, this all makes sense. If the intonation's not very good, then we're in trouble anyway. Not bad for a beater guitar, you know. Alright, we're just about ready. We're just about through the tuning sequence on my end. So we'll go through and work through, there we are, we're in tune now. We'll go through the warm-up sequence this morning. I think I'm going to start with 4 attacks per beat, just to get us all on the same page. We have some new faces here this morning. I know I really appreciate Jill being back, and certainly want to leave the live chat open in case you do have questions about what it is we're doing and why we are doing things a certain way. But these things have, you know, these particular things have led me to have a great, you know, in my own mind, a great deal of success. And maybe you'll find that kind of success too. So, and I hope you do. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 11 and 12 fingers, 3 and go. Oh yes, this quarter note, or no, the 16th note are 4 attacks per beat. We're again at 60 beats per minute. And I'm thinking to myself out loud here, what if I leave the metronome somewhere where it's conspicuous, where it's easily seen, so we can actually see and benefit from seeing that visual representation of the click, of the time passing. So let me think about that as we move forward. I think it's really important to do that. Yeah, the beater. It's so shiny, it looks like the top is from the glare. Oh yeah, I missed one of those words because it's down on the bottom of the chat. I can't read it. All right, let's take a look at fingers 2 and 3. 1 E and a 2. You know what to do. Yeah. So we average about, you know, between 35 and 55 hours of watch time on this particular live stream, and we range anywhere between, you know, maybe 1,500 visitors to 7,500 visitors or something like that. And then we have a crew that typically will stick around longitudinally for, you know, right around between 35 and 50 of us. But I do know that we have a lot of these moments are super important, and sometimes we just don't feel up to doing it, and that's okay, you know, and it's okay. And one thing that I'm not going to do is beat myself up over if I miss a day. Well, I won't miss a day here because I'm sort of obligated, but 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a O. So I remember, people telling me, you know, teachers and mentors in my life, they're not ever going to express disappointment in me personally as a student or as a person. And that really, even if I didn't practice, if I show up for the next session and I haven't practiced for the week or the day or whatever it was, then they're not going to feel disappointment. And they wanted to make that clear. So I think the idea, the dogs are running around, but the idea for me is to treat the guitar very seriously, like some of us treat music as if we were running to the very edge of human understanding, to the very edge of the universe, and pushing that boundary a little bit further, moving from the known to the unknown. And that's okay too. But there are sacrifices being made in either direction. And I just wanted to remind myself to be aware of that. It is one of the things that we choose to do or not to do. To guitar or not to guitar. So I'm going to choose to guitar. So let's keep going. Fingers 3 and 4, 10 and 12, 1 E and a 2 and a T E and a Po E and a... And then this could be mixed up with, you know, let's take a look at a finger, let's turn this into a finger roll exercise, because this is really important too, to know how to, we might need this for the song that we're going to engage with today in Dorian mode. We've been talking about Dorian mode this week, and we kind of stumbled on a valuable little nugget. And we realized yesterday that the Dorian mode is actually, you know how the major scale is a balanced scale, right? With 2 holes and a half separated by a whole step, for another tetrachord that is 2 holes and a half. Well, the Dorian mode is exactly the same. It's another balanced scale, which is whole, half, whole, separated by a whole, and then whole, half, whole. So really interesting where we're placing those half steps. 1 E and a 2, T E and a Po. I got thinking a little bit this morning about the song that we're going to take a look at, the beautiful piece of music. It's a Freddie Hubbard. It's written by Freddie Hubbard, the late great Freddie Hubbard. I think he passed in 2008, but he really moved the dial for trumpet, you know, for horn. Does anyone else think the online metronomes stink? I've been thinking about making my app website. Oh, very cool. Very good idea. Wow, that sounds pretty technical, man. This is really taking it out of my left arm, my fret hand now. I'm really feeling that tightness sort of accumulate, so those acids are sort of building up. So don't forget to breathe. So fingers 1 and 2, and we'll finish up the stretch. We'll finish up this finger stretch, and then we'll go ahead and treat our bodies correctly and do a little bit of a stretch, like a warm-up stretch. So our routine thing at about 15 minutes, okay? One more pass here, and then we'll start with a stretch. 1 E. Again, if you have questions about what we're doing, this is a good thing to do right here, this live chat. All of these guitar players in the live chat are very knowledgeable, and they're from all over the planet. And they're they've been able to, you know, easily intercept and answer with dignity and authority, and then charisma, and all of those things that you'd want from a wonderful live chat experience. So if you ask the question, I'm not able to get right to it. There are some really great players right here that can help here for the assist. So 1 E and a 2. T E and a 1 and 2, 10 and 12. You should make a metronome where it's like a machine gun sound. Hey, guitar for everyone. Man, your tone's coming along. Man, you're really sounding great on your, I've been watching you a little bit on here and on TikTok a little bit. I think I pretty much dumped my TikTok channel. I'm not really seeing I'm not really hitting it, you know what I mean? We were talking about this, and I don't know if we shared this or not, but I'm pretty concerned longitudinally about where we are all going, and I'm so thankful. I'm just, you know, like everyone else on the internet, I'm more thankful than anybody has ever been in the history of humankind. Just more thankful than anybody else has ever been. But I am really thankful, legitimately thankful, that we have a real engaging sort of like remote learning session going on that sort of has some staying power. You know, those things to me are great. I keep getting asked by these like online, like these major websites that house like thousands of learning videos, and they want me to be a teacher on their platforms, and I'm thinking, I just been there, done that, and I just don't have it in me to. I think it's important, you know, and I can get lost just as like anybody else. I can get lost going down the rabbit hole, watching everybody else doing the thing, trying to see how I can do my own thing. But you know, it's just simple. It's so simple. Just do your thing. Observe what we're doing. If I observe my own thing, I'm smart enough to understand what I need to do. I know I am, because I've done it before. And somehow I keep looking for that extrinsic motivator, but it's not really necessary in this business. What's necessary now, probably more than ever, or it's equally as relevant now as it has ever been, is finding my own voice and developing my own talent. Super important, especially where we're gifted with these talents that we have, where we are developing the talents that we have, and sharing those talents and spending them down so that others may benefit, or the world at large might benefit somehow. So super important to just focus on the thing. And like the great, let's take a look at fingers 2 and 4 now. We'll do a stretch from 9 to 12. That stretch really did me some good. And I hope it did you some good too. 1 E and 2, 9 and 12, 2 and 4. So yeah, I just keep referring to these little things like Neil Young. Many consider him to be a great songwriter, you know, great recording artist, probably great in a number of different domains in his own right. You know, how did you become a songwriter, or you know, something to that effect? And his response was, well, you sort of have to learn how to embrace failure. And that's the thing. Sometimes failure is, we're associating failure with fear. And fear is it's something that we can overcome. Fatigue is a harder thing to overcome. But once we're aware of the fatigue, then we can do the self-care, the rest, the diet, exercise, all of that stuff that benefits us. I was thinking about this yesterday. Like, days can get really hard. So 1 E and a 2, I'm going to start right up here on frets 12 and 15. Okay? Different. 1 and 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a 4. Even in the best of situations, life can bring a grown man to his knees. So maybe one of the days is really long. I was thinking about this yesterday. Like, how do you show up every day and have a good cheerful, friendly demeanor and legitimately wear it? Well, one of my good friends, I keep referring back to, number one, faith in God is pretty important, but one of my good friends, he's an old battle buddy, and or not of mine, but he's a warrior, and I said, how do you do this, Randy? How do you face what you're doing every day? And he said, it's really easy. The first thing that I do every morning before I get out of bed, I say to myself, I've got this. And then from another person, if you just put that smile on your face, just wear a smile, it triggers something about it, a chemical release, and it helps the self feel better, and it also helps others who witness the smile to feel better. So I think Louis Armstrong was onto something in his ventures into the realm of caring for people and making the world a better, happier place. Maybe happy isn't the same thing as joyfulness, but similar ideas though. Let's finger 2, 3, and 4, frets 10, 11, and 12. 1 E and a 2, go ahead and smash that like button. After we get through the exercise, of course. If you're here and you are not playing the guitar along with me or with us, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and smashing that like button, that would be definitely appreciated. So I'm going to, go through the E.B. White sort of method when I speak. I'm really working on not saying the words that are not needed. So definitely appreciate it. So the definitely word is not appreciated. It's not needed. It's probably not appreciated by some. So we'll just try to work on language. Just work on a nice steady language, speed it up, slow it down. And then all of those things the way that B.B. King would talk and he would sing and he would live his life was communicated through the way he soloed on his guitar. Arguably, right? But very sophisticated playing, sort of like to a neophyte, it might sound, simple. Those blues licks, if they sound good, they are good. And he had a very nice vibrato, a very nice way of singing the song and then soloing the song the way he would sing the song. So there is no separation between the person and the musician in that case. I think there's a stage presence, but 1 E and a 2, T E and a fo. That's what draws fingers 1, 2, and 3, fingers 10, 11, 12. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a fo. And it's my belief that that's what draws many of us to acoustic instruments. And then the higher the level of the acoustic instrument, the more the acoustic instrument will sing. So it will sing sort of like how Jimmy Buffett would sing, or let's go back to B.B. King and how he would sing with his guitar, and the notes would resonate from his soul. You could see it in his face. Every note was a new experience, working on creating something good. And I think guitars are the same, and musical instruments are the same thing. They are the instruments, they are the tools with which we craft our own language. So you could develop a deep appreciation and a very deep and lasting relationship with an instrument. And you could develop a love-hate relationship with an instrument. Been there, done that, doing it tomorrow. But there's something to an instrument that's actually a musical instrument. And I've only ever played probably out of the hundreds of guitars that I have, have had in my hands, or thousands probably now, maybe 4 were all ever musical instruments. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you can get what I'm saying, but oh, whoop. Oh yeah. All right. I'm missing some things here. Sorry about that, guys. Once in a while, you need to just cast a line out there and then reel me back in. You created an NFT, nice. There you go. Hey, Dan's in the house. Just taking a quick break here. Maybe I'll just get through, let's go ahead and get through these, what are we doing here? I want to leave plenty of time for what we were talking about today. We're getting this book out, and if you can see it, it says front on the cover, so you can see that it's full of notes and full of great songs. I have a song bookmarked, and we're just going to get into that in just a few minutes. We're going to start with Dorian mode here shortly. Just got to get these fingers moving, you know what I mean? It's just... Oh, Louie's back. Yeah, Louie, nice to see you. Denim Dennis coming in for the like. Very cool. Very cool. Christoph, hey, good. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It's pretty close probably. If I need to correct it, you can phonetically get it out there for me. Here we go. So we're working more on D Dorian today. So hang out for that D Dorian day today with a really great Freddie Hubbard song coming up. You're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it. So 1E, let's go ahead and do fingers 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what we've got going on here. So 1E and a 2E and a 9 to 11 and 12, go. Yeah, it just feels super cool to have 4 attacks per beat feel so under control. Let's go ahead and use this finger roll exercise. I'm just going to ascend 1 and then roll the finger over so that we have continuity of tone and single note line has not been broken. But there is something to having like a tap-tuned top, like a Sitka or Adirondack or some kind of sprucey top that's old, you know, tap-tuned by a total master, doing the rare work of the world, finding your voice. So wow, what a concept. So imagine being a guitar luthier, a guitar builder, Talk about an expert in finding one's voice. What does that mean? I guess if I wanted to learn about how to find my own musical voice, I guess I would want to interview someone who is like a master luthier. Wow, just kind of, those little things just sort of come to you if you just listen once in a while. And the thing is, maybe it's not a big deal for some of us, but for that one person, that Guy Davis, who hated his voice for almost his whole life, and then eventually he just kept singing and playing his guitar, and then he found his voice, he found it, and that was a journey that he decided he wasn't going to quit on. Interesting concept. I'm building my own for the first time. Building your own git fiddle? You haven't ever built yourself a guitar. You have the last name Bourgeois, and I thought everyone who had the last name, who carried the surname Bourgeois, has built like 10,000 guitars. I thought everyone with the last name Bourgeois was like a guitar expert, luthier. But I really would love to talk about, like, in depth, and maybe we could get a good friend to, from like Mr. Fish to draw out and tease out those things. Like, he interviewed Neil Peart, was a good friend of his, and I think he's really great at talking about those things. He's very good at life beyond the thing. Life beyond the cymbals, or life beyond the guitar, life beyond the... So just trying to capture those things. Guitar, oh, I wish it was in the name. Yeah, right on. That's very cool. All right, so I think we're going to go fingers 1, 2, 3, stretch 4. I'd like to take a break here. There's a little breather here and there, and I appreciate your, I'm not going to use the word I definitely appreciate, because that's, it's an abuse of the word. So 1E and a 2E and a TE and a faux E and a... Ted Green loved guitar. Oh man. Doug Hoffman amplifiers. Jill Bourgeois, are you documenting it? I would love to watch that. That's a really cool idea. Dan, it was recommended. Oh, Brooke. Hey, what's going on, Brooke? Good morning. Hey, we've got a new face here. I don't know if anybody else catch Brooke. I probably am behind. I'm just way behind. So I'm just coming up to Brooke's comment. Love the Zach Bryan comment. Oh yeah, hallelujah. Yeah. I've tried so many acoustic guitars, but none have really spoken to me yet. Yeah, that's an interesting qualification. Yet, I think the patience and the perseverance will pay off. I think the guitar is just, it really does. I have like guitar geek friends who say there are a number of songs in that guitar, in that old guitar. But I think a new guitar, like a brand new, like a hand-built guitar, it's been carefully constructed, that could be a really magical experience, because now you're both in the same situation where you're finding the path forward together. So the brand new guitar, instead of like getting the 1940 Martin Tripolo that we've, or the song that the guitar, we become custodians of these guitars, and we either care for them properly or we don't. It's a pretty simple black and white thing. And we appreciate them properly or we do not. We play them properly or we do not. We maintain them properly or we do not. So, but finding that path forward, super important, super important. Easily get lost in those discussions because it's such a fanciful world to participate in. The biggest challenge is building all the molds and equipment first. Deep into that right now. Oh, really? So gear acquisition mode, huh? I'm familiar with that. Here we go. 1E and a 2E and a TE and a 4E and a stretch. We're going to kick that first finger back. 8, 10, 11, and 12. 1E and a 2, TE and a 4E and a... Dan, there's a guitarist building school. Oh, so you're a computer engineer. It's about $5K for the program, but I'm thinking about it. What a beautiful way to spend time, man. Ted Green did love the guitar. And that's one of the late great Mr. Ted Green, if you don't know about it. I decided that I would just walk page by page, chord by chord, word by word, chord by chord through the book, Chord Chemistry, in a series here on my channel at Jason Carey Guitar. And it's, it's a really, the videos are sort of like, they're really great for me to participate in because I wanted to review the book and just be sure that I had thoughtfully absorbed and contemplated, walked through every little thing in the book and not overlook anything. So I remember like some of those chord voicings are like really, really challenging. And to make that a little easier, make my life a little bit easier, I needed to sit down every week, every day to really stretch out my fingers. And that's part of how this live stream, this morning ritual for guitar growth got started. Once in a while, the notes line themselves up, don't they? Feels great when they do that. So I'm starting to get warm now. I'm starting to feel warm. So I like to go through this like one, just to get that right hand moving around, just the simple go-to. I think most of us know this by now. If you're just tuning in, I wanted to personally welcome you to the morning ritual for guitar growth. This is a morning ritual session of breathing, tuning up, and warming up, and then maybe talking about some specializations in the last 15 or 20 minutes of the morning session. But it's specifically designed to be a functional warm-up. Maybe we'll do a song once, do requests and stuff like that once in a while. But we're really focused on doubling down, drilling down on the just hand warm-ups, okay? And then physical and mental warm-up, spiritual warm-up, that kind of stuff. So speaking of that, it's time for another stretch. I'm going to go through and scan comments. And let's see. "15 clicks here, 15 clicks here." Fall is a good time to go back to work. You know what I mean? Fall is a great time to keep the mind occupied for winter. That's a great time to, instead of hibernating and just letting retirement creep in. That's a great thing. Neuroplasticity, maintenance of neuroplasticity is what I'm looking for, and one of the things I'm looking for as I age into the guitar. Big Sean, what's going on? You should keep your beard, your chin like mine. I'll take a look. Hey, Marco. Very nice to see you, man. Very nice. Good morning. Rumble is exploding right now. All right. Yeah, I have friends on Rumble. Ooh, Baroque progressions. Very cool. It's nice that as long as the wind ain't blowing. Marco. Time to do the drill. Onesie and a twosie and a putting on my shoesie. Oh, getting the feet dressed for getting out the door, huh? Wonderful morning, man. Mark. So onesie and a twosie, and here we go, the diagonal. Have a super day, Mark. Yeah, there you go. What about this one? It's like a, sort of like a 13 sharp 9. All right, Mark, you can start right at about 42 minutes in because you're going to want to hang out for this one for certain. We've got Little Sunflower coming up. I'm going to give you a flash of it on the screen, and we are going to cover some more Dorian mode using some really simple chords, but they sound so good on acoustic and jazz boxes, you know. The tambourine on your foot was epic last video. Dude, that's funny. I played tambourine for my, when I do in-person guitar sessions, sometimes I'll have to get the tambourine out, and it really is kind of a good, it's hard to miss. It's really hard to miss it. And those leather slippers that you saw and on my feet were, you know, I like to buy the thing and have the thing last forever, pretty much. I try not to be a consumer and do my part to, you know, save the planet and all that stuff, but those slippers, those moccasins have been around for a long, long time. LL Bean, as a matter of fact, LL Bean does not even manufacture those anymore. Best ones they have made. Happy picking, man. All right, Mark. Oh, man, that's quite a compliment, Raul. I appreciate that. All right. Yeah, fix later for sure. Yep, conservative. I like to conserve the thing instead of use the thing. All right, so here we go. What is this? I don't remember what this is. Oh, over the corners. Oh, this is from, wow, this is from, oh wow, this is from Justification of the Incongruent. Wow, oh, Ben Logan. Wow, geez, I haven't seen any of these papers for a long time. But here we go. We have a little, it's probably backwards. I don't think YouTube's bothered to fix my live stream yet, which is a little irritating, considering all I do for YouTube. And then let's take a look. Little Sunflower, maybe you can screenshot it. And you know what I'll do? I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my I'll put it on my community post. You guys can grab it, snag it there. So we're basically talking about Little Sunflower. It's a Freddie Hubbard tune, little medium Latin tune, and there's typically like a vamp in the front where the bass guitar player does this really cool. Yeah, right. There's no setting on YouTube to change the mirroring though. So that, see that, you know what I mean? It's like one of those obvious things. Maybe I just don't understand what's happening. I mean, I'm fairly sophisticated computer CIS student, you know, computer science student, but not anything good. But I think I understand at least the GUI end of it. Yeah, I'm not a lefty. What's up with that? I know. And here I thought you were a lefty. I know, so I'm just like destroying myths now. So. Oh, Dre, hey, play Wonderwall. It's a disposable world, Anthony. Quality is gone. You've got an Explorer? Dude, how did I miss that? Robert Ballad, Paris, very much like Tumbo or Lament. Okay. I play Wonderwall, yeah. How about I play Wonderwall in 5? How about we do that? That ain't gonna work. Maybe I'll practice singing it back to you. Thank you for the request though, very cool. This one isn't in my real book. It ain't in your real book. Well, this real book probably isn't published anymore. So we have this really cool bass line. 1, 2, 3, 4, da da da. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, D, A, and then D again. Boom, boom, da da, da da, da da da, da. And then the melody starts on A, and we know it's Dorian because it's got a B natural in it, right? And then we move. Then we repeat that. And then we move up to the second time around. And then we back to the B flats, E flat major. And then D major. And then the B section goes back up to the E flat major. Or D major 7, and then back to D minor 7, parallel minor, climbing up, and then repeats the C section. Heading back to the D minor, okay, back to the A. So it's It's a really great form. Let's see, this one is in your book. I'll ship it over. Let's see, Polyphia, love Polyphia. Like Blackbird from the Beatles. You can go ahead, Obadiah. I have a Blackbird. Just search Blackbird on my channel, Jason Carey Guitar. You'll find some Blackbird stuff there. I have a bunch of videos or a video or something like that. While you're here, why don't you smash that like button for me? Appreciate it. We're here every morning, every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is how I would work on comping a song like this. So I'd pick out a sort of a nice Latin rhythm. I mean, you could definitely tell I'm a white dude in a Latin band, but you can start working on, so 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 3, 4, 1. So I'm just using the D, the 4, the 1, the 4, the flat 7, and the 3, the flatted 3. And I'm playing all 4 of the middle strings. They're all contiguous strings, and it's really hard to do this. I feel like I always need to be chunking stuff. Just need to be representing time. I need to function as a representative of time passing. And that's not really what happens here in this world of guitar. It's sometimes we just let the time pass, and that's okay. Because as long as we're where we need to be, when we need to be there, at the right dynamic level, then, the listener's satisfied. And even more so, I think, when we're expert at it. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Hey, Zach. Good morning. Two and three, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1. So we could start with just basic things, right? Just counting on the upbeat and upbeat, and then downbeat to square it off. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, and 4 and 1. And 2, 4, 1, 2, and 2, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, or you could do downbeat on 3, 1, 2 and 2, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1. You could do 3, 4, 1, 2, and then so that's a rhythmic grid that we can, a comping grid, the situation that would be very satisfactory for a song like this, because it gives the melody a little bit a counter melody, rhythmic counter melody to the actual melody. So another thing that I like to do with a song like this, because the melody is so wide open, I really like playing the melody like in sixes. Back into the parallel minor. And that's the last time through the C section. And then we'd start with a solo section. And then, so how does that work out? What does that look like? So we start with basically D Dorian mode. For me, D Dorian mode is an extension of C major scale, right? But that's somewhat of it's not a true statement necessarily. D Dorian mode, once we're rooted around D, becomes its own entity, right? So I have, all of these Ted Green, beautiful Ted Green inversions that we could play that are like minor 7 flat 5, minor 9, we've got the minor 7, and then we've got the, the minor 7 here, the minor 7 here, the minor 7 here, and the minor 7 up here. We've got minor 7s everywhere. So I think what we want to do is just kind of get used to how can we approach what we already know. We can always approach from a half step above or a half step below the chords that we already know. So we can really extend what we already know. We can really amplify that to help us to kind of and then just to get us through that hump of like, well, I know this chord, but what good is it? I'm just going to sit around here and play. You could just play the really simple down strokes, just da da ba da ba ba da ba da da. Just letting the quarter notes ring. Here comes a really cool part, the B section. Smash that like button. Smash it hard. Oops, that's a D major 7. 3, 4, 1. Smash that like button. Yeah, refer to modes as moods, absolutely. Smash it like you mean it, please. So it's pretty good to just kind of be able to sing the melody, or at least mouth melody. While you're playing the form of the song. So that's a really good thing to know. But really what I wanted to get into today was just these, we've been basically working on sort of like arpeggios, right? And the triads, so I could start with C and then D minor, right? Do I get a 6? I don't get a 6 with the C triad though. I get a 6 with the E minor triad, right? So I'm going to use, oh, look at this. The song is literally based on D minor, ba-da, ba-da, ba. It's really based on, what happens if I were to play that same kind of style voicing up and down the neck, not parallel, but diatonically playing it so I have a 1, a 4, a 4 above it, and a 4 above it. In the key of C major, I have a 1, a 4, and the 4 above it is the tritone, and the 4 above that. And then the 6th chord in the D minor would be minor, right? And then the 5 is also minor, so I have. Right, so there's the Lydian mode here, based on C, right? All of that stuff is still intact, so that F is still relating back to C major. But then there's the F, major 7 sharp 11, and then D, well, it's G7 of 5 dominant with the D11 in it, so it's got that sort of like quartal flavor. And then A minor, you know, sus, right? A minor 7 sus. So we've got this really cool diatonic, like quartal harmonic concept that we could easily introduce in the span of this song. So I just wanted to introduce that today. We'll come back to it tomorrow. And I really appreciate you all being here today. I definitely appreciate you all being here. I think we need one more like just to get to 20, but we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it, so don't worry about it. We'll start again tomorrow. Dan, husband, both are true. Depends on what's useful to you. Moods is what Frank Gambale. Oh yeah, Frank Gamble says too. He's really kind of making a comeback, isn't he? Thanks. Gotta head to work. Hey Jill, thanks for being here. Sayonara. Have a good morning, and everybody, thanks for being here. See you tomorrow. And until we meet again, well, I hope you have a great vigil. There you go. Hey, see you tomorrow, same time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our morning ritual for guitar growth. We'll specialize this week on Dorian mode, okay? So we'll keep that going on. Zack Attack, rock on, bro. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Happy until